Quiet on the set.
Questo è inquadrato in tutti. Speed the camera, sound.
Okay, so today I get to sit down with AC Milan star, US men's national team superstar, Christian Pulisic. We're in Milan, you've just finished training, so I get to hang out with you in your now home city of Milan. How are you enjoying it here? It's beautiful. And how's your Italian going? Are you working up some courage with the Italian?
Yes, my Italian is actually getting much better. I feel quite comfortable in interviews and things like
You do?
that. Yes.
So you can do full-blown interviews in Italian now?
Well, I just did my first one on like a phone interview, and I found that actually very tough when you don't see the person. Yeah. So I feel like I struggled a bit in that, but I feel like I can kind of get through it.
You more comfortable in Italian than you ever were in German?
I think pretty close. When I was at my best in German, I'd say I'm pretty close now to that in Italian, yeah.
What do you like about life here versus London, Germany, wherever else you've been?
I just like the lifestyle. I like the culture, the Italian culture. I think it's very, very relaxed. I enjoy the people here. Yeah, the food is pretty good too, so that's a good plus.
Not bad. Beats London.
For sure, for sure.
Do you ever think about kind of where you would want to be when you're done with football? Do you ever think about where you would want home to be?
I've thought about it. I think, I don't know. I think I have to kind of see where my career takes me, how that's going to go. I definitely picture myself spending, life after my career in the U.S.
You do?
Is what I look to, for sure. It's been so long where I've been away from family, and just to be home is definitely going to be nice.
So you're just kind of like, at this point in time, getting back to fitness, right? I guess I'm just interested how hard you find that time to be outside of the game that you love so much. Like imagining it from the outside looking in, I think that must be super frustrating, demoralizing even, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as a footballer, the times when you're injured and you can't play on the weekends, it's the worst. It's the worst time for us. But now I'm back fully with the team, and I'm feeling much better.
Did this feel like a frustrating time for it to happen, though? It really felt like you were building so much momentum in this, the new start to the season at AC Milan, and just kind of being in such good form, goal scoring, assists, really kind of taking on a leadership role at the club. Yeah,
things were going so well at the beginning of the season. It seems to happen that way. Honestly, I trust in God's timing. I trust in that it's the best thing for me. And to be honest, it's not like I'm, it's not the worst thing ever. I was out a couple weeks and now I'm already back. So I'm lucky that it wasn't as bad as it could have been. So I'm trying to see it from the positive perspective.
Where do you think you are in terms of your personal career path and your prime? Do you consider yourself in your prime?
I definitely say I'm at a good age in my career. I feel at, maybe my physical best, you could say. And also, I feel I've learned a lot and I'm at a really good place. I always like to say I hope my prime is the next year, because that's always my goal. But if this is my prime, I want to enjoy it. But there's always places to get better, and I definitely feel like I'm playing some of my best football at the moment.
Do you think you'll find it hard to leave the game when the time comes? It just feels like. So my husband used to be a fighter, and I think particularly in boxing, you often see that with athletes, that they just don't know when to call time.
Yeah.
And I think, any footballer I know still wishes they were playing. Do you think it's hard to know when it is?
I think it is. I've spoken to some of my even former teammates who have retired, and I think it seems like, now looking at it, because I'm thinking, 10 whatever years down the line, I hope I can have a long career. But whenever it does come time...
You still want to be playing like late 30s?
I mean, yeah, I want to go as long as I look at Luka in my locker room, and this guy's 40, and he's, putting 10 out of 10 performances, and I'm just wondering how he does it. But I hope I can keep up. But no, I think right now I'm thinking, man, I can't wait for that, to be honest. I'm really looking forward to just being able to relax after the career and do that. But I think it definitely kicks in soon after. You're like, man, I miss this. I mean, it's just... day by day, getting to experience all that we do, just hanging out in the locker room with your buddies, like we're so lucky to have this as a job, and I think we're gonna miss it, and it's gonna be hard when the time comes, for sure.
So if we go back to AC Milan for a second, we talked about the fact that winning the Serie A is obviously the aim, is the ultimate goal. Does not winning it feel like an unsuccessful season, or how would you look at that?
I don't think, I mean, that's our goal. That's our goal for sure. I don't like to look at it in that way. How's it going to be if we don't win it? We're going to do our best. And I think we can judge ourselves off the performances, off how we go from game to game. And yeah, just how we go through the season. There have been times where I've left seasons where we haven't won anything, and I feel like we did a lot of really great things. So it's not something to be ashamed of, but absolutely, when you get that win, there's nothing like it, and it feels like all the work that you put in really, really pays off. Yeah. What
does relaxation time look like for you in Milan? What do you do when you're done at training?
I go home. I play a lot of chess online.
Against people you know, or just random?
Against random people online. Occasionally I'll play with some of my friends, but mostly it's like in an online kind of.
Do they know
hobby.
they know who you're playing? No.
No. I actually like put like a Croatian flag and a fake name, and just so people don't actually know. My grandfather taught me how to play chess, so I have a chess piece here, and his name is Mate, which is also my middle name, and it's like a play on like checkmate, which I thought was
I like
cool.
it.
So it's like Mate, and he taught me how to play chess, so I still play a lot. So that's just an important one to me.
Is that your Croatian side?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you mentioned Luka Modric earlier. I was wondering if that had been maybe like part of you guys bonding. I don't know how attached you feel to your Croatian heritage. How in tune with that do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's always been important within my family. Obviously, my grandpa, he was obviously a huge fan of the Croatian national team. He loved Luka Modric, and it's pretty cool now having that full circle, playing with him now. But I feel connected, but at the same time, I grew up my whole life in America. I never learned the language. My parents didn't speak it, so I guess not as much, but definitely I'm proud of that heritage as well.
That's right. Did you get him a Modric shirt? Your granddad?
No, he's passed away now.
I'm sorry.
But
okay.
no, it's okay. I feel him watching down, and I when Modric is assisting me in training, I think about him sometimes. I'm just like, if he knew that this was happening, it's like he'd be. I mean, he knows. He's watching down, and it's a cool feeling. So.
That's everything.
Yeah.
One of the funny stories about Luka Modric at AC Milan is that when he joined the club, he didn't go through the initiation process. He decided not to, and he gave you guys all iPhones. That's what was said in the media.
I didn't know that was out there.
Is that true?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to confirm it, but yeah, I guess it is.
So usual process would be what?
You have to get up in front of the team and sing. It's pretty much it's a pretty worldwide kind of thing. It's just something you do in soccer. You have to go, you have to sing in front of the team as initiation, but when you're Luka Modric and you have a Ballon d'Or and a few Champions Leagues to your names, you can skip that process. And we're also not going to say no to new iPhones. So it's a win-win.
So what was your song?
Oh, that's embarrassing. I sung a Miley Cyrus Party in the USA song when I came. I thought it was fitting.
Okay.
So that worked out well. The guys liked it.
Is that the song that you also sang at Dortmund or at Chelsea, or do you switch it up?
What did I think I might have done something similar at Chelsea. Did I do the same song? I kind of forget. I might have. Something along those lines. I don't remember.
I would die, by the way. How do you feel in that moment?
It's the worst moment in the world. But even more so, to be honest, when I'm the one at the table watching other young kids go up and do it, I hate it even more. And some people love it and they're laughing, but they're so uncomfortable. They're so nervous. And it makes me cringe. I'm like, guys, please, I try to just clap them off as quickly as possible to just try to.
Have you ever seen anybody relish the moment?
I have. I mean, I've seen some unbelievable performances, and I've seen people literally crumble. The best let me think. Who had a really good one? I would say in Chelsea we had this one physio. His name was Billy, who he would kind of be like the host in a way. So he would literally put on outfits. I remember if an Argentinian player would come, he'd put on a whole outfit of their culture and get up and make them sing. So that was a crazy culture that they kind of had there, and he was led that. So those are my best memories from those.
What about personal aims? Do you ever go into a season with that? I don't know if that's a thing for for goal scorers that, you know, I want to have like my career best season in terms of goals, or I want to be MVP or whatever. Do you set yourself those kind of bars?
Yeah, I think most, like you said, goal scorers and things like that, it's probably more of a private thing, which it is for me. I would never share what my exact personal goals are.
Why?
I don't necessarily, because there's no need to, there's enough pressure on us, I think. There's no need to put any added pressure. And people don't realize the pressure that we put on ourselves, I think, in a lot of ways. I demand so much out of myself. I'm sure all the top professionals do. And fans, you know, they don't think that we don't care, but they probably think that we don't care as much as they do. And it's just not true. We care so much. And yeah, I set goals for myself. And it's not always necessarily I want to score this many goals or this many things. It's just how to impact the team in certain ways is kind of how I look at it.
What kind of personality are you in the dressing room? Are you vocal?
I wouldn't say I'm super vocal. I think I'm definitely more reserved, definitely a quieter personality within the group. I think that's just kind of how I've been. I mean, that's how I am in life, my whole career. Most people will tell you that. You can probably see that in the documentary. They make me look like a fool in the first episode. But that's...
How do you mean?
No, I'm saying as far as like, they made me seem like I'm such an awkward, like very quiet guy.
I watched it. I didn't think it came off that way.
Yeah, maybe just watching yourself stuff.
That's definitely true. I can relate to that.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's just who I am. But I like to think I've grown a little bit in my career, and I'm not afraid to share my opinions and talk with the guys.
Through media, you're opening yourself up to fans, really, right? If you feel like you can't necessarily trust people to understand where you're coming from or understand what's in your heart, does that make it difficult to trust media? And do you feel mistrusting of media?
I mean, I guess in some ways, but it's not necessarily that I don't trust them. It's just I don't like to add any extra noise, like I said, around myself, around anything. But yeah, for me, I think some personalities are different too. Some people are much easier, easier going and able to share more about their lives, and that's okay. They enjoy that. I'm definitely someone who's kind of the opposite. I like to keep it pretty private for the most part. And that's just personal decision. That's how I like to live my life. And I don't look too much at socials and all that stuff. And I'm been
Do you
better
really
off.
not?
I mean, you see stuff. I'm not like, I have an iPhone. Like, you see news and you see certain things, but like, it's easier for us to like deleting all the social media apps off my phone just so I don't look at it throughout the day. And that's just something that for us is much easier because there's just so much more negative stuff out there than positive, unfortunately. There's a lot of positive stuff too, I'm sure, but it's just better to stay away from it, in my opinion. Knowing
that you're somebody who relishes privacy and enjoys having your private life, why do the documentary? Why make that choice?
Yeah, I kept asking myself that, why'd I do this? But no, it wasn't as bad as I guess you made it seem. I also had a good friend working on it with me, doing a lot of the camera work, which was helpful. It wasn't like I made that pretty clear to, that's not what I wanted. I didn't want a huge crew following me around regularly. But at the same time, it was still very difficult for me. To let people in, I felt like it was a really good time, leading up to World Cup and having people to get to know a bit more about me, hopefully inspire some kids back home. And yeah, I hope it did that. But it was tough for me, for sure. There were some tough moments. But also just sharing kind of really what I'm feeling going like throughout my career. It can be tough for me, I guess, especially to the media, to people. I understand a lot of people like to see that, so that's why I tried to open up a little bit more. But for me, it's difficult. I keep a lot of my thoughts and my stresses kind of within and just deal with it internally. And maybe that's good, maybe that's not, but that's just kind of how I've been.
Oh, you still have to be you, right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. I get it. Did you watch the whole documentary?
Sometimes it's hard for me to watch, but I have seen most of it, and I've lived most of it, so.
Hard for you to watch because they're dealing with topics that maybe you found uncomfortable living, or what is it? I think so. I think some of the difficult topics and things that I went through, you start to watch it and I'm just like, man, they're not even painting me in a negative light, but it's just difficult for me. It's a reliving of something that was uncomfortable at the time.
And I mean, I don't know if you can relate, but just hearing yourself talk a lot is not something I love.
I don't like it.
Yeah, it's just, I think that's a pretty normal thing. So listening to myself
seeing yourself
once
on
is hard
camera, there's
enough.
everything that you don't like.
Hearing it repeatedly, and especially, with other people around, it's just hard. I guess it's hard for me. Yeah.
What about, was there a moment though that on the episodes that you did watch that you were glad that it got shared or you enjoyed watching back?
Some of the golf moments where we're dancing, I hate seeing myself dance, but I love those moments. And I think people relate to it. And it's
yes, totally.
It's just a funny, those are moments that I'm, once I'm done with all this and I'll be able to look back and show my kids, I think it'll be a pretty cool memory to have.
You said you hope that maybe as well it could possibly inspire some other young kids. How important is that to you, kind of just knowing the figure you are in US soccer, how influential this next World Cup will be in terms of opening the game up to other young kids? Like, how seriously do you take that responsibility?
I mean, truly, it's one of my biggest inspirations is to kind of push the game back in the US and especially to inspire the next generation. I mean, like we talked about, having an American player in Europe and being able to look up to a guy who's doing incredible things, I think it pushed me so much to want to do that, to want to be that much better, to believe and see, okay, he's done it now, I can do it too. And I hope that some people have watched me play and maybe thought that. And now with this documentary, kind of understanding, my thought process as I'm going through it throughout my career, I hope that I can inspire a lot of people, around the world, especially American kids, because it's an incredible life, an incredible journey that I've been on, and I hope that people can see that.
You talked about the pressure that you exist under, and I think it's huge, especially in the kind of the realm of the US men's national team. Like, everybody is looking at you and hoping for a miracle from you to somehow, kind of galvanize this team and take this team to new levels. Do you feel that you exist with the same pressure in domestic football, or is this almost a little bit of an escape when you're in Milan and playing with your club team, and then the pressure really builds when you're with the US men's national team?
Yeah, I think I dealt with that a little bit, especially earlier on in my career going to national team. I kind of had this, whatever this title, this new kid is playing in Europe, and he's on the national team, and we kind of, at least this is what I thought in my head, which looking back is stupid, that I'm expected to score goals. I have to win games for the team. I have to do that. And I definitely struggled with that for a little while. I think I've gotten better throughout my career. I still work on it. I still struggle with it. But now I think I've gotten to a place, especially now with the other top players who are playing, around the world in huge teams. I'm not the only one who's going to be able to make a difference in games now with this national team. So I'm really grateful for that. And I don't feel any type of extra pressure, like I'm expected to do it. Of course, there's always pressure, but it's like I said, it's more what I demand out of myself, and I really want this team to be successful. So I put a lot of pressure on myself.
So November, you're not meeting up with the national team. Was that a request by AC Milan? Are you able to share anything about that?
Speaking with the people at Milan, and but also, when I was leaving the national team, we had good conversations. I haven't come back and played yet, so I don't think it's right for me to, fly over there and try to, get my first games back with national team. When I just want to make sure I have the time now to fully care for myself and make sure that my hamstring is doing well, and allow other guys to take the place. So I think it's just the best decision for everyone right now.
Too much too soon.
Yeah.
One of the people we haven't spoken about is Gio Reyna, who is called up for the November window, which is great for him. He is, I think it's fair to say, gone through a tough time in football lately. Do you have any conversations with him? Can you share kind of his state of mind or what advice you may have given him?
Yeah, we don't talk a bunch, but we've had a good relationship, and I think he has had a really tough time, and kind of unfairly in a lot of ways. I feel for him. It's not difficult what we go through. Some of the injuries also he's dealt with. It's really hard. And with the national team now, also seeing him on the roster, I think it's really exciting for him. I will say, when I have him on the field with me on the national team, I always feel a lot more relaxed. I feel like he's a really, really good player, and I think that's not a crazy take. I think a lot of people see that.
Yes.
So I just tell him to stay patient. He's a guy.
Just too much of a spotlight.
Yeah. He's a guy that's gone through a bit of a tough time. He'll admit that, but that doesn't mean that that he can't, he can't have really good things ahead. And people put pressure because, and I get that too, because he had such a crazy start to his career where he was doing unbelievable things at 17 years old. And then you expect
Which is the same
that,
thing you talked about,
yeah,
right?
Then all of a sudden, you know, you go to the national team and people are like, you need to be that guy. You need to perform for us right away. And it's like, it's not that easy. There's a lot of, you know, factors and things that he has to work out. And I do think it's been unfair, but I think he's gonna come around, and people are gonna see that soon.
The situation that happened with the Gold Cup, where you chose, you know, not to take part in that, and it made people question your relationship with Mauricio Pochettino, and you came out and addressed that and said, "There's not all the drama that you guys think there is." I think people understand that there's no drama now because you guys have both clarified that. But I guess what people, I think, would love to know is, like, does he galvanize the players? Like, what has he given you guys that you felt that was maybe missing previously under other coaches? Is there anything you can speak to on that?
I mean, I would say when we're in camp and leading up to games, I think he has a real focus on just the fighting spirit of the team, especially. I think kind of with the South American background too, the Argentinian is very, I mean, you can see when they play. I mean,
It's feisty.
they have, don't get me wrong, they have the best player, you know, potentially ever. But they have 10 other guys around them that are ready to run through a brick wall and do all those things. And I think that's kind of what he's kind of wants to instill within the team. And that fighting kind of nasty spirit. And I think that's his main focus.
And do you feel like that's something that's taken hold?
I think it has. I think we've, like I said, it's tough without the competitive, you know, more competitive games to really know. But I think even in some of the friendlies we've played, I feel like the team does have a togetherness about them. And I have, like I said, I feel very positive about where we're going.
I know that's one thing that Clint always talks about as well, is his frustration maybe with the level of competition, because he feels like you need those really competitive, tough games to get you ready for when it really counts for the World Cup. Do you think that has gotten better? Like, if you're thinking of this last window or the November window, do you feel more comfortable with the opponents that you guys are facing?
It's not like we're playing bad teams at all. It's just the competition aspect, like we said. I mean, at the friendly games, it's harder to get that same build up and that feeling going into it. But once the whistle blows, it's still a.
Oh, no, I understand. It's not the level
bonus.
of the opponent for you. It's just about, like, how much it matters.
Yes,
right?
yes. I think that's how I feel it more, because I feel even if you play against a weaker team in a World Cup environment, that's like you feel that intensity in a way within the game. Yeah.
What do you enjoy more? World Cup environment, Champions League environment? Can you pick between the two?
That's a tough one. I've actually, like, talked to some of my friends about this. I don't think I've ever been more nervous in a game than I was in the last game of the group before the World Cup knockout stage. Like, we had to win to go to the next round, basically against Iran in the World Cup. For some reason, whether it was just the pressure I felt that on myself or for whatever reason, I felt like this was a moment. It was so important for our national team, for our career. I mean, I just cared so much for the country, for my teammates, for this, for this team, just to win and have the opportunity to continue in the World Cup, knowing it's the World Cup.
Does your life ever feel kind of surreal to you if you think about these moments that you're living and the stages that you're playing on?
All the time. I mean, you know, I just think back to my younger self playing in youth football. I mean, my dream was to play professional soccer. Like, it didn't make sense in my head that you could play soccer and earn money for it. It just didn't. I didn't understand it, because I'm like, why would I get paid to do what I love to do? You know, and I get it's a lot tougher than what you think it's going to be when you're young. There's a lot of tough moments, but I truly feel like I am living, my dream. Is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And I feel lucky. I do look around sometimes and I try to take in the experience as much as I can when I walk out on the field, because I feel like it's going to go so fast, and it does feel surreal.
Did you dream this big? Or did you dream professional soccer, maybe MLS? Like, what was the hope? Or did you not have anything specific?
I mean, my hope, I watched, European soccer growing up with my dad. That was all I watched. We watched Premier League, we watched La Liga, and that was like, to me, that was where I wanted to be. That's what I dreamed. Just playing in Europe. It wasn't just one league or the other. I was watching even AC Milan when I was young. I mean, it was crazy did I expect to be there? I mean, no, you never really do. But it was my dream, and I always told myself I was going to give it everything and go for it. And I've been really blessed with the opportunities I've had. And yeah, maybe not this big, but this is what I always wanted.
Production sent me some questions for you.
Okay.
Your football idol growing up, if you can pick one.
Between Wayne Rooney and Luis Figo were my two footballing idols. Yeah.
Why each of them?
I loved Wayne Rooney. He was like such fighter mentality. Like he was like this bulldog that just like wanted to score so bad. He was so like, I just loved his style, and that's kind of how I wanted to be. He was always this like small guy, like winning headers, and I just thought it was so cool. That was what I liked about him. And then Figo, especially I was watching Madrid a lot with my dad. And I was watching him when he was there, and that was kind of the style that I wanted to be always. I just found him to be a really great player.
Describe in detail your favorite goal you ever scored.
It's a really interesting one, and no one would ever guess this one. It was actually, it was a goal that I scored in qualifying in Ohio against Mexico. And I came into the game, and it was basically a tap-in header. But it was the moment of the game. I was coming back from an injury, and I was going through a really difficult time in my life, in my career. And just the movement I made into score in that moment when I was not at my best physically at all, it was, for some reason, my favorite goal that I scored. And I don't score headers often, so like it was just like a personal one. Is it my best goal? No, it's probably not even in my top
But emotionally
50,
it meant a lot.
Yes, so that was my favorite goal.
I hope you guys have the rights to that.
Yeah, it was the man in the mirror one, yeah.
Oh,
so
got you.
I guess maybe that too.
Yes,
was
no, that
part
was
of
a
it,
very cool moment.
But people don't know the whole thing to it, so yeah.
Favorite cartoon character and why? I would not have an answer to this one. Do you have an answer?
Cartoon character?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's really cartoon, but the movie Monsters, Inc., I have a tattoo of Mike Wazowski, because that was my favorite.
You do?
That was my favorite character, and he's standing on the Champions League ball the year we won.
Okay.
It's just like
why did you include him in the Champions League tattoo?
Because I was young and dumb. I don't know. It was my favorite movie as a kid. Me and my cousin Will used to like watch this movie on repeat, and he just was my favorite character.
Okay.
So I guess that's a good one.
Name your all-time best US men's national team five-a-side team. Can include a keeper. Jeez.
Okay.
People need time to think about these. These are hard.
Let's go with. Yeah, these are hard. On the spot, let's go with our guy Brad Guzan. Let's give a shout out to him, recently retiring. That's my guy. He had an amazing career, so we'll stick him in goal. Let's go. I mean, I'm just gonna go more recent because they're my guys.
Yes.
But like Weston, Tyler, me, Brad, and then put like a big defender in there, like an Onyewu or something, and I feel like that's a good team.
So Onyewu was okay. No Landon, no Clint.
I had to do it on the spot. There's a lot of good names out there. It was just my first thought.
I think it's a hard question without prep time. I agree.
Yeah.
Listen, we appreciate you so much. Thank you. I know taking a lot of your time.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.